covering Northern California. You're watching Action News Now, coverage you can count on.
Thunderstorms were passing through our area earlier this afternoon. This is a look from the East Las Molinas camera pointing out towards Tehama County. The National Weather Service says there were some small hail in these spots along I-5 and in Corning. And our meteorologist, Patrick Wright, has been tracking this storm that's been rolling through. What are you seeing right now?
Well, so far, the National Weather Service is looking in to see if that cell that passed through, and you see in the middle of the screen there, right along I-5, just south of Red Bluff, to see if there was some rotation involved with this system, if it developed a funnel cloud. They're still combing through some of the pictures and video seen online, but they'll hopefully have a determination if we saw something later on this evening. But it was a nice cell that moved through, dropped some hail and brought some gusty winds and some heavy rain along the I-5 corridor earlier. It has since moved out and the lightning activity has ceased, but it did bring some hail, as I mentioned, to the Corning area, a nice coating along the ground. So watch your step if you're stepping outside in some of those areas. But when it comes to temperatures, upper 40s to around 50 degrees out there since the sun has set. But we do have more rain and a chance for thunderstorms on the way tomorrow. I'll break it down in just a few minutes.
Thanks, Patrick. And this winter storm caused Caltrans to shut down State Route 89 around 3 miles north of the junction with State Route 44. But Caltrans is no longer screening chains on cars for people traveling about 10 miles north of Redding. This morning, it was checking for them on northbound I-5 at Fawndale. State Route 3 at Scott Mountain also reopened this afternoon. But if you are driving in Susanville, you will need chains. CHP put out a list of areas, and you can find that list on our website, actionnewsnow.com, under the story that's on our homepage. So be sure to be safe if you're driving on the roads in this area. As you can see, they are filled with snow. Paradise police arrested a drunk driver whose truck got stuck in the mud on Friday night. Officers say they got a call about a suspicious truck revving its engine near Kenford Way in Paradise. When they showed up, they arrested the 25-year-old driver, Nicholas Vandergrift, who they say they determined was drunk. Police say he was on probation for a prior DUI and had a suspended license. And he's now behind bars at the Butte County Jail on multiple charges, including refusing to take a chemical test. It's a stretch run for holiday shopping, but not everyone can afford it. Action News Now reporter Chloe Curtis shows us how some people are helping this holiday season.
Every year, the Salvation Army rolls out its annual Angel Tree program to help families in need. And all you have to do is take one of these tags off the tree and go shopping. One of those trees is at Learning Express Chico. The program spreads holiday cheer to hundreds of thousands of kids across the country every year. Sales associate Maddie Savangzi says it's special to be a part of the mission.
Essentially anyone that walks in can pick up a tag and do that. There are families that come in specifically for the Angel Tree sometimes. Like we had a family this morning that came in with their kids and they each got to do a ticket.
There's still a few tags left on the tree though, so I grabbed one. It's for a 5-year-old girl who really wants a doll and coloring books. The program wraps up on December 5th, but luckily it took just a few minutes to pop into the store and find the perfect gifts with some help.
Definitely a huge difference because it is for low-income families, and it's like they sometimes can't afford a Christmas, and it's just like giving them that Christmas joy that a lot of families get to experience, and some people don't get to experience that, so it's really good that they have the opportunity to do that.
It's not too late to support the Angel Tree program. You can still pick up some last-minute gifts and drop them off here at the Salvation Army through tomorrow, December 5th. In Chico, Chloe Curtis, Action News Now, coverage you can count on.
And Learning Express Chico still has a few tags for kids left on its tree, and it's offering 20% off in store to those shopping for the Angel Tree program. A big rig caught fire today near Gridley. CAL FIRE Butte County knocked down the flames off of Nielsen Avenue and Highway 99. Crews were out there for about an hour mopping up, but still no word on how this fire ignited. The Sutter County Sheriff's Office is facing staffing shortages, and that's why starting on December 6th, the Yuba County Sheriff's Office will be taking all of Sutter's 911 calls. So if you do have an emergency, the number won't change, but you will be rerouted. The agency says it anticipates this change for about 90 days till it's able to get all of its new dispatchers trained. An escaped inmate from the Lassen County Jail is still on the loose tonight. Deputies say Angelo Atencio squeezed through fencing near the roof of an exercise yard. Detectives say he had help from his girlfriend, Ashley Ward, who planned to pick him up outside of the facility. Atencio was booked into the jail in May on charges related to kidnapping, home invasion, robbery, and false imprisonment. If you know anything, call police. A rail strike that could cripple the economy. Gloria Pesmino shows us the new bill the president signed that he hopes will put things back on track.
This is the House Joint Resolution 100.
President Joe Biden signed new legislation Friday forcing railroad workers into a labor agreement and avoiding a possible strike. A rail shutdown would likely have devastated the economy, disrupted commuter rail services, factory productions, and put hundreds of thousands of people out of work heading into the holiday season.
Our nation's rail system is literally the backbone of our supply chain, as you all well know, and so much of what we rely on is delivered on our rail, from clean water to food and gas.
On Capitol Hill, the House passed the rail agreement on Wednesday, followed by the Senate on Thursday. But it wasn't without complications. There was a push by progressives to add a provision related to paid sick leave, which the Senate failed to pass. President Biden vowed to keep pushing for paid sick leave.
Look, I know this bill doesn't have paid sick leave, that these rail workers and frankly every worker in America deserves. But that fight isn't over. I didn't commit we were going to stop just because we couldn't get it in this bill, that we were going to stop fighting for it.
Meanwhile, some good news for the U.S. economy. According to the Labor Department, 263,000 jobs were added in November, and the unemployment rate remained at 3.7%. I'm Gloria Pasmino reporting.
And the Federal Reserve is scheduled to meet on December 13th and 14th, when officials are expected to raise rates by 0.5 percentage point. Officials in Ukraine say more than 10,000 troops have been killed in the war. Western leaders have previously suggested that a combined 100,000 soldiers were killed or wounded, but the Ukrainian military has not confirmed these new figures. Back in August, the head of the armed forces said that nearly 9,000 military personnel had been killed since Russia invaded Ukraine about 9 months ago. Indonesia has raised its warning to the highest level today after Mount Semeru volcano erupted. And as you can see, that plume from the volcano could be seen from far. And people living near this volcano in Indonesia's East Java province scrambled to evacuate. Mount Semeru is the tallest mountain on Java, but there have been no reports so far of death or injuries. Caught on camera, a terrifying coyote attack. Details on the rescue that happened right after this. And lines stretching for blocks for people to get their hands on mushrooms. The pushback it's getting from a community in just a few minutes. A 2-year-old California girl is recovering after being attacked by a coyote on Friday afternoon. And we want to warn you, what you're about to see might be hard to watch. Just unimaginable. You can see the coyote that ran up to Aria, the little girl, and tried to drag her away, but her father quickly reacted, shooing the animal away and even threw a water bottle at it. This attack happened in Woodland Hills, a heavily developed neighborhood in Los Angeles where wildlife is unexpected. Aria was rushed to the hospital for rabies shots. Her family says she is doing better, but both of their children were traumatized by the experience. The California Department of Fish and Wildlife has been unable to catch the coyote to euthanize it. All eyes are on Georgia as the Senate runoff election inches closer. Christian Benavides shows us what a win will mean.
Georgia is on the minds of many as Tuesday's Senate runoff election fast approaches.
This race is really important nationally, so I think it goes way beyond just the local implications that it will have.
And this election is about who is competent and who has the character to represent the people of Georgia.
Incumbent Democrat Raphael Warnock is defending his seat against the GOP's Herschel Walker.
But I want to make sure you know you're with the right horse right now.
After about a week of early voting, more than 1.8 million people cast ballots. That's about a quarter of Georgia's active voters. Democrats are hoping for more breathing room and more power when building committees if they win that 51st Senate seat.
So the yeas clearly have it.
Meanwhile, Democrats moved closer to shaking up their presidential primary calendar ahead of 2024. The DNC Rules and Bylaws Committee voted to support kicking off the primary season with South Carolina on February 3rd of that year.
This proposal reflects the best of our party as a whole, and it will continue to make our party and our country stronger.
I'm glad that Republicans are staying the course. And, you know, how I feel about this, I feel that Democrats have really given middle America the middle finger.
The seismic shift would take away the Iowa caucus's longtime premier spot. Christian Benavides, CBS News.
And the Georgia polling places will be open from 7 to 7 on Tuesday. 'Tis the season for picking a Christmas tree. The tips and tricks you should know to keep your tree from igniting fire. Plus, the latest list of the most expensive cities in the world. Which American cities are in the top 5?
And when it comes to high temperatures today, you could really see who had the clouds and who did not. Reading topped off in the upper 40s, while Chico and Oroville topped off in the mid-50s. I'll break down what to expect this evening for the chances of rain and whether or not we could see some more thunderstorms tomorrow in just a few minutes.
You're watching Action News Now. Storm Tracker weather. Coverage you can count on.
The sound of that wind just whipping around out there earlier today. You can see those leaves all piled up and rustling around outside today. Some sunshine, though, in Chico, at least, where this video was shot. We're joined now by meteorologist Patrick Wright. Patrick, what are we expecting to see in this new week?
And we will see more rain continuing at least tonight and into tomorrow for parts of the valley. But today it was really hit and miss, as some places saw sunshine. Temperatures there got up into the mid-50s. That was mainly the mid-valley. But other places saw the clouds and saw some rain and even thunderstorms today. This is looking from the Deer Creek Highway camera out towards Chico. The city lights are shining and a few clouds are starting to roll on in. And that means you do have the chance for some rain to move in this evening, so more people will get some of that rain tonight compared to what we saw during the day. But there will be more chances for rumbles of thunder and even rain coming tomorrow, so very similar to what we saw today, but also as this winter storm moves on out, that will set the stage for some chilly mornings to come up as we head into the middle of this week. But looking at the futurecast, here's what we have. Tonight, that band of rain moves on through, bringing some heavy rain at times to parts of the valley and some heavy snow to the mountains, so that'll make past travel rather difficult if you have to head to the mountains tonight into tomorrow morning. But as you're walking out the door by 9 a.m., scattered showers at times, especially along the eastern side of the valley into the foothills, so Chico may get in on some of that rain action. But when it comes to the mountains, yeah, more snow possible with this system. And as we head throughout the day tomorrow, some scattered thunderstorms will be likely in at least some parts of the valley. But by Tuesday morning into Tuesday afternoon, we start to clear out and dry out to kick off some cool temperatures for the mornings. But when it comes to rain, it all depends on if you'll get some of those thunderstorm cells setting up right over you as we head throughout the rest of this week. So when it comes to the valley, it's going to depend. We could see some places get to about an inch of rain at times, but again, that just depends on if you get some of those thunderstorm cells with the heavier rain amounts setting up over your area. So just because Red Bluff says it may get an inch of rain, it may not happen there. It could happen some other places. We'll just have to wait and see as we head into tomorrow. But otherwise, up to about a quarter of an inch of rain will be possible in most places through the next couple of days as a bare minimum. But we do still have some winter weather advisories and warnings in effect for the mountain areas. A winter weather advisory in effect for elevations above 3,000 feet out towards the coastal mountains. About 10 to 20 inches of snow, additional snow will be possible there. And for the Sierra, a winter storm warning, I should say, in effect through 2 p.m. on Monday above elevations of 4,000 feet. Wind-wise, we will see some of those southerly gusts continuing through tonight and into tomorrow, gusts between 20 to 30 miles per hour. Stronger wind gusts with some of those thunderstorms coming as we head throughout the day tomorrow, but that'll be isolated just to those cells. Again, it just depends on where they set up, but those winds will calm down as we head into tomorrow afternoon into Tuesday morning. Lows tonight dipping down into the low to mid 40s, given some of the clouds that'll be lingering around. Highs tomorrow, upper 40s, I should say, to mid 50s in some parts of the valley. The more sunshine you get, the warmer your temperatures will be. But when it comes to the next 7 days, here's what we have. We are drying out and clearing out Tuesday into Wednesday. That'll set the stage for some chilly mornings. So look at that low between Tuesday and Wednesday for Chico, hovering right around the freezing mark. So have your jackets ready that morning, but Redding could get into the upper 20s by Tuesday and Wednesday, but then we set the stage for another system to move on in Thursday into Friday, and even a possibility of another system coming in for the weekend, but those details are still uncertain at this point in time. So feeling like winter this week.
Yeah, definitely. First full week of December, and it's going to feel like it.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Patrick.